When Hitler and Germany invades Poland and the beginning of World War II begins, with France and Great Britain then declaring war on Germany, we see Hitler use a practice called blitzkrieg or lightning warfare. This was designed to promote disorganization among the enemy forces by using a very heavy use of machinery and aircraft and a lot of firepower, and this was very successful in winning a very quick victory over Poland. It was then that what's called the Phony War that begins. This was an 8-month period after the war actually began where there were no major military land operations on the Western Front. So basically, we are technically at war, but there's no major fighting going on just yet. That all changes very, very quickly. When Hitler invades the Soviet Union and starts making his way toward the USSR, Stalin is then going to begin his attack as well on Finland. Again, all in an effort to keep Hitler out of the Soviet Union. So now their non aggression pact is over. Hitler then is going to turn his attention toward France. And unfortunately for France, it does not take very long for Hitler using his blitzkrieg style of warfare to take over entirely. There was a massive Allied evacuation at Dunkirk where the entire French government has to go into what's called exile. So they then go to Great Britain where they were technically still the government, but France did have to sign a surrender to Germany in June of 1940. Now, this will leave Great Britain to fight Hitler by themselves. We see that here, a Frenchman crying as they were have had to surrender to the Germans. We now see Great Britain left alone to fight Germany by themselves. Germany at this point was in control of most of Europe. The Luftwaffe, which was the German Air Force, was bombing Great Britain. They were not only bombing military targets, in fact, most of the targets they bombed were civilian targets or non military targets. The RAF, or the Royal Air Force, did a great job of defending the British people. In fact, Winston Churchill, who became the British Prime Minister after Neville Chamberlain resigned from office, his quote about the Royal Air Force was, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." This referenced the fact that it was that small group of RAF that so valiantly defended the British people. The thing that probably saved Great Britain was that Germany never launched a land invasion of Great Britain. This allowed them to continue to defend against the Germans and keep this from being a land invasion of Great Britain until the United States got involved, and then they were able to turn their attention elsewhere.